Yo, what's up guys? Trader Mayne back here with the second video of this altcoin series. So as I mentioned in the last video, in this one, we're gonna be covering some coins that you guys have suggested you wanna see me go over. I'm gonna try and intersperse, is that even a word, some lessons within the videos. I'm glad you're able to edit these. Last time we focused on the ratio between Ethereum and BTC, how you can use that to your advantage. In this video, we're gonna kind of expound upon that, but this time with regards to other alts versus BTC and other alts versus Ethereum. Using those same lessons from last time to kind of put into practice what some altcoins that you might be currently holding. Ethereum is rallying really hard. You wanna know if you should be sitting in that altcoin of yours versus Bitcoin or versus Ethereum, or obviously versus USD. I'm also gonna give you guys a couple of tips around market structure. This is not gonna be like an in-depth dive into how I look at market structure. If you're looking for that, I highly suggest you take a look at Crypto Cred. I do market structure very similar to how Cred does it. So if you really want that deep dive into market structure, I would suggest checking out that video. Maybe I'll do something in the future. This is going to be a quick tool that you can use to kind of look at market structure in a different way and use it to kind of frame your directional bias when it comes to trading altcoins. So quick shout out to the sponsors of this video. First sponsor is Bybit. Been working with Bybit for a while now, guys, so I really appreciate the team over there for helping me out. The current promotion that we're running with Bybit right now is going on between August 2nd and August 18th. It's a deposit bonus campaign. If you have not made a first-time deposit with Bybit, using the link that I'll leave in the description of this video, you click it, you click join now, it has all the terms and conditions. If you deposit Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, a few other coins are eligible. You get some cash back up to $1,000. So definitely check that out. Thanks so much to the team at Bybit for helping me out with that. So the second sponsor for this video is Senso Token. Senso Token is the in-currency platform of Sensorium Galaxy. Sensorium Galaxy is an AI-driven VR experience. You can see music, art, interact with other people in a very cool VR environment. They have some huge partnerships with some big names in EDM, electronic music. So you can check them out on Twitter. I'll leave all the information below. They're Sensorium Galaxy and Senso Token on Twitter. So thank you to the Senso team. Let's get back to the video. Motherfucker, I was on a roll on that one. With all that being said, the coins that we're going to cover today that have been suggested by people, and I've got a ton of suggestions. I'm gonna do my best to try and not pick the same people twice, but you know, naturally things are gonna happen. So guys, I see a bunch of you, Samarth, stop spamming Luna, bro. First coin, shout out to Mark Rod, and a bunch of numbers for this suggestion is gonna be Matic. So we're gonna look at Matic versus USD versus BTC and versus Ethereum. After that, we're gonna be taking a look at Link. So shout out to Mark Ompe for Link. And lastly, we're gonna be taking a look at Solana, Sol. So shout out to Chris for that suggestion. Hopefully you'll learn something, and I will meet you. You see the little subtle product placement there from Nike. Nike CEO, if you're seeing this, sponsor me please. We'll see you over at the other camera. Yo guys, Mayne here. So on this camera now, I'm gonna give you a really quick kind of directional bias or levels of interest on the altcoins that were suggested versus USD. And then we're gonna quickly expound upon the lessons from last video with regard to the cross-market analysis. So Matic versus USD, very quickly, just from the weekly chart, we have this bearish order block here that caused this move down. We ran this low, and we're seeing a kind of SFP here form on the weekly, and now we're retesting that bearish order block. So the way that I use these kind of levels is if this is a down move, right, or an up candle, excuse me, that caused a down move, the first test of that area, you expect it to be resistance, and we can kind of see that happening right now. However, if this flips, it then becomes support. So that would be a bearish order block, right? So this is a bearish order block. That would make another move down. However, if the bearish order block gets violated to the upside, you can now consider it like an SR flip, and it becomes a bullish breaker. So if you're ever asking me what are breakers, what are OBs, I have examples in my Discord, on YouTube. Here's another one, also on my Twitter. So check those out. But that's kind of what I see here for Matic. This is a key level. It's resistance for now. So if we see some low time frame weakness here, a run of the highs and then a breakdown, that would be a short trigger. And if we flip this level, I'd be looking to buy the dip for much higher prices, okay? The other level that I've marked out here is kind of the point of origin of this entire move up, right? So this little down move here caused this parabolic move. Lots of altcoins on the way down, right? After a big run, you can mark out kind of the point of origin of the run, and you will almost always get some sort of trade here. Whether it's to a new high, it doesn't matter. You're usually gonna get some sort of trade and reaction here, even if it's just a lower high. And this is about 100% move based on this point of origin. So good little tip there, mark those out, set your alerts, zoom into the low time frame and try and find some bullish PA there, because this is an area where you would expect the bulls to step in. But what we can see here, I'll go down even one more time frame. So there's that point of origin. There's that SFP. We effectively have a pretty nice range between the SFP low, deviated below, reclaim, and we're up to the range highs now. So on Matic, kind of looks like we're bull flagging under this resistance area here. If we flip this, I think you could look to start longing the dip, right? If we have some sort of failure up here, run these highs, then get back below that key level, I think you could short it. I would probably short it into here around 95 and then down to here around 85, 80 to 85. All right. Some sort of dip from here. So if it doesn't even go above, but it pulls back here, I think you could take a long, right? Take some off here. If it flips this, you can add it back on to higher prices. So that's how I would play Matic USD. Now, very quickly, Matic Bitcoin. This is the exact same as looking at Ethereum versus Bitcoin. When has Matic been outperforming Bitcoin? When has it been underperforming Bitcoin? So what is this going to tell you? Well, if both assets are in an uptrend, right? So if Matic is going up and Bitcoin is going up, like it is right now, but this is in a downtrend, that means that Bitcoin is going up more than Matic. Okay, and you can see that Matic USD is actually down on the day where Bitcoin is up on the day. That's represented in this chart. If both assets are going down, right? Both assets are going down and this is in a downtrend, right? This was the case in, in May. What that means is Matic is going down more than Bitcoin. So the reverse is true as well, right? So I covered this kind of in depth in the last video, but effectively this chart shows you the strength of Matic relative to the strength of Bitcoin. And you can use that to determine which one you want to hold, which one you might want to long, or which one you might want to short. If Bitcoin and Matic break down, let's say, and they reject, and this makes a lower low, Matic is the higher beta short, right? So hopefully that makes sense. And you can also do this same cross-market analysis, and you can see here, obviously, most of 2021, Matic's been outperforming Bitcoin, right? And you can see that in the Matic USD chart relative to the Matic Bitcoin chart, because that's all that this really is. You can also do this with Ethereum, right? So if you are wanting to be in an alt because you think it's alt season for whatever reason, or you're like, hey, I'm in all of these alts, well, compare your alts versus Ethereum, because there's going to be periods of time where, okay, yeah, Matic has been a better hold than Ethereum for a long time here. But now that tide seems to be turning. And if you're a Matic holder, well, Ethereum is rallying hard as hell right now, right? Went from 1700 to 2800 in the last 10 days. Matic has been getting smoked. So it doesn't mean that Matic USD isn't going up. It just means that Ethereum USD is going up more. And that's represented in this ratio. So when this is an uptrend, Matic is outperforming. When this is in a downtrend, Matic is underperforming. And again, that's not just for longs, it can also be for shorts, right? If one asset is outperforming the other, but both assets are going down, you want to short the underperforming asset because it will be the higher beta short. So you want to do this kind of analysis on all of your pairs, right? So you want to know, if you really want to get into the weeds about, okay, when is the optimal time to long Matic versus Bitcoin, Matic versus Ethereum, Matic versus USD. Using those three charts combined, you can figure out the best asset to be in out of those three, or the best asset to long, right? For the highest move, if everything's gonna move up, which one's gonna go up the most, or the best one to short, right? If everything is gonna drop, the market looks like shit, well, you're gonna wanna short the one that's gonna drop the most. And just by looking at these last two pairs from the top, right? Matic would have been a higher beta short than shorting Bitcoin or Ethereum. Okay, and you can do this for any asset. You can compare Matic versus other alts, not just Matic versus Ethereum. You can do Matic versus BTC, Matic versus Link. You can go Matic USD divided by Link USD. The denominators cancel each other out, and there you go. You now know that Matic has been outperforming Link here, and now it looks like Link might be starting to outperform Matic. This is starting to make lower lows and lower highs. This continues to go down, Link is going to be a better play than Matic. I highly suggest you understand how these cross-market pairs work and fold that into your analysis if you really want to kind of maximize your trading and investing. Even if you're not a trader, if you're an investor, right, in Matic, because you believe in Matic, there's going to be times where, well, you know, yeah, you're holding Matic, but if this keeps making lower lows and lower highs, you'd be better off in Bitcoin. It doesn't mean you're not making money on Matic. They could both be going up, but Bitcoin's going up more. So maybe you want to hold some Bitcoin, and then when this turns around, rotate back into Matic, right? So we'll do the same thing for Link, and we'll do the same thing for Sol, and then we'll wrap up the video. So ChainLink is one of those coins that I hate to trade. It has an extremely strong community, and the Marines are passionate. If you say anything negative, they just fucking attack the shit out of you. I also just don't like the way the chart looks. It's kind of messy to me, but very similar to Matic. What I've done here is marked off, okay, here's that weekly bearish order block. That's capping price right now. We ran a key monthly low, and here's kind of our point of origin of this kind of top. So as expected, we came down there. We've had 3 taps into it. We're getting a nice reaction to the upside. So zooming in, what would be kind of the setups for Link? Well, I think we're right into resistance right now. So I think you play this very similarly to Matic. I think a dip into here would be a long, assuming the market stays bullish. I think a clear break and close above these highs, right? And then continuation of some bullish market structure would be a long. Or if we get some sort of move up here and then signs of distribution, right? So we break back into the range, we put in bearish market structure, that would be a reason for me to short this thing back into kind of 20 bucks and then back into 16 bucks. But for now, the whole market's looking potentially bullish. I don't see why we shouldn't be looking to, you know, long the dip on this thing, or at least long a flip of the range high. All right. Now, the same analysis for Link BTC. Link BTC is an interesting one because during the bear market, this just continued to make higher lows and higher highs. So a lot of Marines did very well while Bitcoin was trading in a downtrend or sideways. Link BTC was in an uptrend. And so what does that mean? For a long period of time here, Link outperformed Bitcoin and outperformed a lot of the market. A thing that I posted about on Twitter that I think upset a lot of Link Marines was this looked like a blow off the top on the BTC pair. And consequently, while Bitcoin and a bunch of other altcoins continued to rip higher, Link kind of just got stuck around that $40 to $50 place for a while. Well, how could you have known that? How could you have known that maybe you should have been paying attention to some other coins? Well, it was in the ratio, right? Once this had that blow off the top and started putting in lower highs and lower lows, right, on the high time frame here, right? This looks like the BTC 2017 top. This is in a very clear uptrend, very clear, right? That's a break in market structure on the daily, right? That's another one. Now we're in a downtrend. So Link started underperforming Bitcoin. So if you were holding Link from August to, you know, January, so basically the latter half of 2020, you were underperforming Bitcoin. And I know that's hard to hear if you're a passionate believer in Link, but that's just what the chart was telling you. And I posted that on Twitter and I got assaulted by the Marines. So I will have no Link slander because I don't want to get assaulted. But for now, right, we've kind of flattened out and we're potentially showing some signs of reversal here, right? So that looked like a clear up off the top. There's a, you know, solid 5 or 6 months of a downtrend. Now we have a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high, potentially a higher low. So if this is able to continue putting in, right, bullish market structure, break that high, keep this low intact, break this high, keep this low intact. Ultimately, we want to see this high get broken. If that's the case, we could see another period of time like this, where Link starts outperforming Bitcoin. And so if you had to hold one of the two, which one do you want to hold? It's going to be Link, right? And the same analysis can be done versus Ethereum. It's almost the exact same chart, but it's a little worse now. So there's a long period of time, right, where Link was outperforming Ethereum right up until the summer of 2020. And then we kind of had that blow off the top there. The difference is Ethereum is starting to look quite strong, right? Ethereum is, Ethereum BTC looks pretty good. Things have been going up. Things have been looking good. And Link BTC is potentially starting to turn into an uptrend. Link Ethereum is very clearly, in a strong downtrend. That's going to be the value of looking at these ratios. Because if you're like, I can only hold one, well, out of the three right now, you want to hold Ethereum because FBTC is in an uptrend, Link Eth is in a downtrend, right? So that tells you that of the three assets, Ethereum is the strongest performer. So again, just using the fraction, plug in whatever assets you want to compare, determine which one is outperforming, underperforming, and then rotate your portfolio accordingly. You don't have to do it every day and be like, oh, this just made an hourly lower low. But based on the high time frame, if this thing makes a daily break in market structure to the upside, to me, that's significant, and there might be it might be a time to rotate some money out of Ethereum into Link. But as long as the higher time frames, the daily, the weekly, etc., keep making lower lows and lower highs, your money is going to be better off in Ethereum than ChainLink right now. And that is a super key comparison for alt season, right? When Ethereum is going crazy, if your alt is not outperforming Ethereum, right, you should just be in Ethereum. Matic, right, versus Ethereum, when Ethereum went from 2 to 4K, Matic Eth was in an uptrend. So Matic was outperforming. When Ethereum went to 2 to 4K, Link Ethereum is in a downtrend, which means that you're better off just being in Ethereum. So when things are going nuts for alts, you want to make sure that you're not in the laggard like me with Litecoin. Don't make the same mistake I did. All right. Lastly, we're going to go over Sol. So what I've done here on Sol, very similar analysis, right? We have our point of origin of the move to all-time high. We've got a nice 3 tap of this kind of range low here, and we're pushing up. This is looking potentially bullish. I like this versus USD more than some of the other coins versus USD. This looks like a pretty clear attempt to shift the trend. We just made a higher high here once this candle closes in about an hour. So I like how this looks. As long as we maintain above this order block in the mid-range, I think you buy dips up into the range high. I think at the range high, you hedge. If we get some sort of distribution up here, right, a fake out, break in market structure, sure, you can short it. But for now, I think the range high is the target on Sol, assuming the rest of the market keeps going up. And this, stays strong. I like this above, kind of 35.50 for buying the dips up into that 46 level, okay? Now looking at Sol versus BTC, it looks very similar. But as you can see here, we had our kind of DeFi summer 1, DeFi, summer 2. So there was a period here where Sol was smoking Bitcoin. And then there was a period where Bitcoin was smoking Sol. And then obviously for most of 2021, at least the first half, Sol has been outperforming Bitcoin. Now we're kind of at a, period where it's almost flat, right? I mean, I wouldn't say this is an a downtrend yet, because we have like a high, a low, a high, a lower low, a lower high. This is a higher low, that's a lower high. This is kind of like an equal low. So for Sol here, essentially what you want to see is this kind of pattern break one way or the other. If it breaks to the upside, you're going to see Sol continue to outperform Bitcoin like it was on the preceding move here. And if this breaks to the downside, you're going to see Bitcoin outperforming Sol. It doesn't mean Sol might not be going up as well, but it might mean Bitcoin is going up more. So this is something I'd be watching here on Sol. We kind of have this like 4 taps of this trend line, right? And we kind of have a very clear floor here. So if Ethereum BTC tells us anything, right? Because Ethereum BTC essentially made this exact same pattern. It broke out. So if Sol is going to follow, we could see an explosion here where Sol starts outperforming Bitcoin. You can see just on the day here, Sol is outperforming Bitcoin, right? Because the candle is green. So that's what I'd be watching on this. If this is able to break out of the trend line to the upside, we're going to see Sol USD outperform Bitcoin USD. All right, guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the second episode of the altcoin series. I'll be getting to work on the next one ASAP. If you're liking these series and liking these videos that I'm doing on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that other YouTube stuff to the video. Share it with your friends and family. Force them to watch it multiple times just to help me out. You know, it would really be awesome if you kind of force-fed my videos to your friends and family. I will be talking to you guys very soon, most likely on Sunday when I do my next Ethereum and Chill. Till then, if you got any questions, you know where to find me on Twitter and Discord. Talk to you guys later.